Everybody. My name is Alfred Ortiz, and I'm the owner of CSD Cyber, based right here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And today, what I'd like to do is invite all of you to watch the rest of our webinar, Wireless Technologies for Small and Medium Businesses. With us today is William Lenzini, who's the CTO of CSD Cyber, and he'd like to tell you a little bit more about the company. Just a quick introduction about CSD Cyber. We've been around since 2018, and we've worked with a number of SMBs to protect their most sensitive data so they can focus on what they do best. We understand that you're busy with regard to your business and what you do with regard to your core competencies as a business. So what we'd like to do is welcome you today to learn a little bit more about how you can keep all of this information safe. So CSD Cyber, in our mission statement, provides data protection services and tools to maintain business continuity and compliance for our clients. And with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it over to Will, and he'll get into the wireless technology space. Will?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Al. So today we'd like to talk a little bit about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, where you should use them, how they work, and some common things to watch for in order to keep more secure configurations. So with Wi-Fi, your traditional IEEE 802.11, where should we use these? Well, we can use them for bring your own device networks. That's where your clients and your customers and your employees bring their own cell phones, tablets, laptops, you name it, and connect them to the network in order to get internet access or for you to provide better quality of service while they're at your location. Secondarily, that goes as well for guest access. Then as well, we can use Wi-Fi for IoT and other purposes. Say you run a manufacturing plant, you might use Wi-Fi to communicate your different machines to each other wirelessly so that you don't have to run a bunch of Ethernet cords. Now, on the other hand, personal area networks or Bluetooth, IEEE 802.15, this is used traditionally for, say, like your Bluetooth speakers, aka wireless audio streaming, automations, your smart light bulbs, smart LED strips, Alexas, you name it, and personal health devices like Fitbits and others. Next slide, please, Al. So a private network versus a guest network. Why use a private network? Well, you might use a WPA2, WPA3 encrypted private network to protect your sensitive business applications. Say you have some employees at work with their laptops and they need to access some financial server or financial application that you have running internally. You probably don't want them to do so over an unencrypted network, which is open for interception and pilfering. Instead, you would rather set up some form of protection like WPA2 or WPA3 to encrypt that data in transit. Um, with that, also, it provides your employees some privacy, and as well, it provides some of your data privacy as it's moving through the wireless network. Now, why would you use a guest network? Now, talking about this a little bit more, you might use it for enhanced customer experience. You might need to partition or segment this off from your private network for compliance or regulatory reasons. And ultimately, this segmentation of bring your own device helps to ensure that you have better security regarding your wireless networks. After all, you don't really probably want anybody to be able to connect their devices to just your one wireless network, as they could intercept or do something malicious or nefarious to your data in transit. Thank you, Al. Next slide. Now, one of the things that you might want to do is to guard against unwanted users, and we were mentioning this a little bit. Now, how can you actually do this? Well, there's a couple controls that we can take a look at. The first is MAC filtering. So the physical address of each device is represented by its MAC address, of course. A MAC address is a physical address. Now, this address actually represents the device itself. So what you can do for your wireless network is say only these select MAC addresses or these select devices are allowed to connect to the network and others are not. So you can set up MAC filtering to prevent unauthorized users from accessing it. Of course, there's still a way that they can bypass this too, which is why it's important to have a strong Wi-Fi password. Now, having a strong Wi-Fi password of, say, 12 or 16 characters in length helps to ensure that adversaries are not able to easily crack it or get into your network. And then lastly, of course, too, this is a little more costly of a measure, but it is very, very effective. You can implement a WIDS WIP system. And a WIDS WIP system is a wireless intrusion detection or prevention system. These systems will watch for nefarious actions such as deauthentication or denial of service attacks, among others, and help to at least alert you of it going on so that you can respond or help to mitigate or quarantine devices if this were to occur. And thank you for attending. I'll pass this back to you, Al.
Thanks, Will. So a couple of questions with regard to the presentation that we'd like to maybe cover is when you're going in and you have maybe clients that are coming in to visit you for meetings, should you put them on the guest network and segment that piece as well? Is that a good idea to have them join that, or would you rather recommend that they join the main channel for the wireless network when they come in?
For which device?
Let's say they bring their laptop or their cell phone in to go in and check their emails or maybe check on some stuff they need to do online.
We would recommend a bring your own device network for any laptop or cell phone that's not company property. Now, on the other hand, if it is company property, we would recommend the private band.
Okay, great. And what those channels that we're talking about, we've seen some that say, let's say company ABC and then company ABC guest. How hard is that to set up? And, would we be able to help a particular client do that in their environment?
It's quite easy to set up in many routers, wireless routers that is, to have functionality and support to automatically spin that up. And we could absolutely help out with that process.
Okay, great. And last but not least, let's say we do have an Alexa that we're using at home for whatever reason, whether it be music or, accessing, different types of data. Would you recommend buying a new Alexa or a new listening device into the business, or would you rather suggest that maybe they go ahead and bring some of that BYOD, or is it not recommended that you do that, depending on the particular business vertical that you're going into, let's say medical or legal that maybe you're talking about?
Well, it's going to depend on the sensitivity of your applications. In some cases, having something like an Alexa on the same network is not suggested, and in other cases, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, we would recommend those kinds of devices to be on a bring your own device network. That way, you can segment them off from your business applications.
Okay, great. And one more question. What about printers and peripheral devices that are in there? Would you recommend that they go on the wireless network? And if so, what are some maybe areas that CSD can help with to be able to set those up securely?
For printers, they ultimately can go on the private band, but they could also go on the bring your own device to your guest network. It's going to depend on what they're used for, which employee types are using them, and how often they're going to be used. And it's absolutely something CSD can help with.
Great. Thanks, Will, for clarifying those points. And what I'd like to do next is just thank everybody for attending today and the questions. And then also with regard to reaching out to us, we have a dedicated area that we're getting into small and medium business. We launched on July 4th this past month. And also would like to reach out. If you'd like to reach us, you can reach us at SMB at csdcyber.com. Our telephone is 719-220-6464. And you can always look at our website, csdcyber.com/store, to take a look at some of the offerings that we have for specifically small and medium businesses that need help in various areas that we can work with. So we'd like to invite you to visit our site, contact us, and see how we can help you, and also invite you for a 30-minute, free 30-minute review of your environment and anything we can help with. We'll be glad to set up a Teams meeting with you remotely and be able to help you with any questions that you have for a 30-minute free overview. Thank you very much for attending today, and we wish you all the best. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.